Hello, everybody. Hello, it's Ian Davis from Alt Right Ultras uh, with Louis Mallero here tonight, one of our members. And we're just having a quiet chill and a chat about any old topics, an impromptu hangout at his request. Um,
Oh my goodness. Um, I
hmm
guess I also want to mention. I want to talk about. Actually, I'm planning to make another. I plan to do a video called the. Have you heard of the aquatic ape theory?
Nope, no, I've not heard of the aquatic
All
ape
right. It,
theory.
it was it was created by a. All right. Okay. It's
Have you
basically.
heard the aquatic ape theory?
I do.
Okay.
It's basically it's the theory. Let me read it. I'm gonna read the Wikipedia um
Yeah.
definition, and I actually did research on it. And I'd watched documentaries about the aquatic game theory. I'm going to expose how this is a pseudoscience, why this is a pseudoscience
Mm,
created by feminists. All right,
right. Yeah. Let me go look up aquatic ape.
I want to read it out loud. All right, this is
Mm,
the Wikipedia article. It was actually promoted by a guy from Chile, and it actually inspired Salvador Allende, and it was later promoted by many feminists, um, proud feminists. It was actually mentioned in a book called "The Origin of the Descent of Women." All right,
the
or
descent of
descent,
women. Yeah.
descent. Yeah,
Slow down.
the aquatic ape theory is often referred as the aquatic ape theory. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah, you've
this
said that.
idea that the evolutionary ancestry of modern humans spent a period of time adapting to a aquatic existence, meaning that like somehow our ancestry, we probably lived underwater.
Hmm.
Like it even states that it might prove the possibility of mermaids.
Right. Well, yeah, this is very pseudo-scientific already because they're drawing conclusions from a lot of supposition. I mean,
And now it was hypothesized by this German and Chilean scientist Max Wolfram Westphal. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Max
Westenhofer, Max
Westenhofer.
Westenhofer, yeah, or Westenhofer,
And
I think.
according to the Wikipedia page, uh, here
Hmm.
he returned to Chile in 1929 for 3 years, directed a department of pathology at the
Hmm.
medical school of University of Chile. This was most a fruitful period in furthering the development of quality of Chilean medicine. He skipping pathology institutes were founded in the hospitals in Santiago and Valparaiso.
Hmm.
His, his stress and social um, determines determinants are morally and morbidly influenced by generals of students, including Salvador Allende. Now
Right.
you now
Hmm.
going back here, the aquatic theory. It was also promoted by feminists. It says it here.
Well, feminists will latch onto any theory at all if it fits their stuff, and then they'll throw it away second it doesn't fit their goals.
Yeah.
Um, um, and this is what they'll do with this. I mean, obviously, it's preposterous. Here's the thing: if mankind came out of the seas, where are the men that didn't come out of the seas? See what I mean?
Yeah.
Where is the missing
People actually
aquatic
people
human
actually
link?
believe people actually believe in mermaids and they're actually sightings.
Mm,
Uh, like probably they were drunk. But,
mm,
like that's like I don't like people are this is why freaking feminists it was actually a freaking documentary which is fake. I can tell you that the states that mermaids still exist.
Well,
It's ridiculous. It's
exactly.
ridiculous. People think that mermaids still exist or like exist in general.
Now, how would we have existed underwater? Yeah, we can't hold our breath for very long.
Now, according to the theory that it explains why we have no hair, which I found stupid because elephants are land animals and they don't usually stay on water.
Yeah, they don't have hair.
And
The reason we
yeah,
don't have hair is because we have clothes, and we've had clothes for a very long time.
yeah, yeah,
You know, I mean, we still have hair. I've got hair on
yeah,
my
and
legs.
yeah. You also
I've got
got
hair. I've got
freaking
a beard. Where did that come from? What use was that underwater? I've got hair on my
yeah,
head.
and according to you know in your hands between your fingers is like a piece of skin.
Yeah,
Apparently, they theorize that um,
that's for
that's
swimming.
actually fins. That's meant for like fins. Like you know how frogs have like
Hmm.
flaps of skin to help them swim. Like they
Yeah.
were like little fins. Like,
Well,
but many scientists have proven that the aquatic ape theory is a freaking stupid.
I would say we are semi-aquatic because we do live around coastal regions. We
Yeah,
are good at swimming and that kind of thing. But that
yeah,
doesn't, you know, that's a, I think that's a tag from our adaptability rather than from a sign that we've evolved from a sea creature. Because we have this thing on our hands, right? When your skin gets wet, you know how it all puckers up like that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a genetic adaptation that stops us slipping over in rivers and streams and makes us able to pick things up because it gives a lot more grip once the fingers are wet. It's like when you get into the bath, you feel like you're going to slip over to begin with. And after you've been in there like a couple of minutes, you stand up, you don't feel uncertain on your feet at all because you know your feet are swollen up and are now sticking to the bathtub. You do feel secure, and your body just knows that through your inner ear. So here's this thing: it's your skin is one stage when it's out of water and changes into another when it's in water. And that's a really old adaptation. I mean, for your skin to have that adaptation just on your hands and feet, because it doesn't happen on other parts of the body. Your face doesn't wrinkle up when it gets wet. To have
yeah,
that adaptation, yeah, and to still have it, to have it at such an old adaptation that not only that adapts for water and adapts back on land, yeah, that shows that we've been in and out of water at the times when they would have been otherwise proving that we were in water.
yeah. And another theorizes the reason the proof that apparently we evolved from aquatic creatures is that our skin, not like we have blubber apparently, like we're able to we have some sort of fat
Mm. Subcutaneous fat.
like blubber like seals,
Yeah,
and they also theorize on that because when like many babies when they give birth on the water they know how to swim even though they
true.
never taught how to swim. I don't know. I think it's because the babies just float and just
I think it might be something to do with that because apes are much heavier boned and they are not adapted for swimming at all. I just think we're adapted for swimming because we've always lived on coastlines and near rivers, hunting and fishing as things come down to the water to drink and to catch fish and food and that kind of thing. I think
yeah,
we've just lived on coastlines and we're adapted to that, because we
yeah,
came down out of the trees where we were sort of forest animal and very adaptive for climbing and that kind of thing. And then we lived in savannas with hunting and that kind of thing, and where we were learning basic tool making. Now, savannas are difficult places to live because you've always got to be following the herd and following the animals and that kind of thing. Whereas, if you set yourself up near a river or a coastline, on a coastline, you've got fish coming to you all the time, just randomly, At a river, you've got fish coming to you all the time, and you've got all these animals coming to drink. They're all coming to you, so you don't have to go wandering around following them all the time. So I think we have developed to a life where if we needed to run away from a creature, we ran into the water. If we needed to catch something, we ran into the water and started grappling about. Or we were, trying to spear buffalo in mud and this kind of shit. I think that's where it's come from. It's the lungs that pester me. We would have much bigger and better adapted lungs if we were going underwater. We could hold our breath for much longer time, because you look at dolphins and fish and all sorts of creatures and that kind of thing that don't have gills. No, not fish, sorry. You look at things like dolphins, they have quite big lungs. They have quite big lungs to hold a lot of air. But what they're actually doing is charging all the oxygen into their body. That's what whales and dolphins do. They dissolve the air that they need into their blood, and that's what allows them to spend a long time underwater. So we would have that adaptation. We would have that kind of adaptation. We would either have, we would probably be left with very, very small set of lungs, because they'd be super efficient at breathing the amount of air that we're having in the above water, in the out of water environment. I mean, so either the lungs would have shrunk, I would have thought, but I don't think they would have lost their power, because maybe evolution does work like that. Thinking about it, I suppose that is possible. Devolving just doesn't seem to. Something wrong about this theory. I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah.
Why did the feminists like it? What did it say to them
It's
about?
because it was promoted by this Walish woman.
Yes, in a book, The Descent of Woman, a book
Like,
inspired by reading Desmond Morris's The Naked Ape. Her name was Elaine Morgan, by the look of it. Yeah. Satirical. Oh, it was a satirical book. Okay. Right, so he dropped his original idea after various scientific queries made him think, nah, and she was left as the only proponent of this theory. Also, why do we talk? We'd have another method of communication. We would have much more interesting body language if we were an undersea creature. We would have ways of making noises that don't involve our mouths and noses being open. We'd be able to make noises that really went places. I don't know.
what's your I don't like the left is extremely hypocritical. They whine about the Native American genocide, but at the same time they want to confiscate private property. I also want to point out the stupid YouTuber known as the Finnish Bolshevik, who
Right.
criticized me, calls me a racist,
Yeah, well, they all do that.
and he writes about apartheid, but he admits in his video that he supports segregation. To like, let's say he says that that like like apartheid, it should be the black people segregating the whites, and that the Native Americans should be segregating the English speaking foreigners.
Why?
I don't know. That's his logic.
What's his name again? The Finnish communist.
The Finnish Bolshevik.
Well, yeah, Bolsheviks.
Oh my
Finns.
god! Oh my god! He is a hardcore Stalinist. He says Stalin didn't do nothing, stuff like that.
No, I don't care what he is. I'm not going to argue with him. Just going to have a look at his channel. Oh, God. I fucking hate communists. So ugly. So ugly.
Yeah, they're no different than neo Nazis.
They are. But you'll find out about that as time goes by. Oh, I don't want to watch any of this shite. Islamophobia follow-up.
Oh, I need two videos on that.
Yeah. Louis is very concerned about white genocide in Africa. That's the video he's made about you, is it?
Yep.
3 months ago. Pause that because I'm not going to give him a view. Just vote it down. Oh, God, look at this. So you invited him to a hangout. Did he come?
Nope.
Nah.
He's a freaking coward.
They are kind of.
Oh my god,
Um,
I sometimes I regret because when I first made the video response on him on the Holodomor, he only had like 100. When I made that video response to him,
hmm,
he gained like right now he only has a 1,000. Like what the freak? I
yeah.
only have like right now he's 75 subscribers. How we gained that so much subscribers with one YouTuber who have barely has like 100? Because I mainly have more views. I mainly have more views than subs apparently.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's why like it's mostly views, but most of them are like commies, and they freaking dislike the video, and every freaking commie knows me now.
Well, yeah, I mean, you need to promote yourself more to the people that you do want as your audience rather than the people you don't.
Yeah,
And I'd suggest maybe getting a headset and that kind of thing, because that will reduce a lot of noise during recordings and hangouts and that kind of thing. But the thing is, if you use,
sorry.
see, this is the problem by using the computer's microphone and loudspeakers. It creates a whole heap of noise. But a simple headset, people can be arguing in the room around you, and it just doesn't come through. You can get a nice little headset, the one like I'm using for about. I spent about. It's just under 20 quid. I think it was about £19 or something, and it's okay. It doesn't make a lot of noise. It's worth investing. It's the cheapest thing you can. All these people buy these big condenser mics, and it doesn't really help them a lot. Sometimes it just collects more noise from the place they're in. But I mean, that's one way to do it. Improve the sort of sound quality of your videos. Another way is to just get your
Yeah,
face out there.
that's
Do a lot.
that. Yeah, that's the problem was that I only with it's because I lived in an apartment and I have to
Mm,
wait countless times until it's the right when it's like everything's quiet
mm.
and it's
Yeah.
usually an apartment. I have to like whisper.
And just a cheapo headset would solve that. It's amazing. Getting your name out there with the alt right, going around, just joining groups on different networks and that kind of thing. Facebook is quite a good place to do that. Um, Doing hangouts with other people, that's always pretty good because their fans come and they hear you, your fans, and you get a lot of cross pollination and cross promotion. Uh, Choose a Well, there's all sorts of extra things you can do, but they're probably a bit much for you at this stage. I mean, you won't be wanting to afford editing software yet. You won't need that. You won't understand how to edit yet.
Yeah, yeah. I should have a good editing software. It's just on my computer is like garbage.
It's not the computer so much that's gonna. I mean, in terms of the computer, the difference comes when you're uploading and processing and rendering, because that's using a lot of processor memory and a lot of random access memory, and that can take time on on an unpowerful computer. I mean, there's no such thing as a bad computer unless it doesn't work, and that would improve things. But I mean, your cheapest improvement would be getting your name out there, getting a cheap headset that covers your ears and has a semi-condenser mic. Um, get your name out, condenser mic, and get a channel identity together. Just a picture, maybe that you with your name on it, that's like a blank, and you can just simply put over what new thing is each week. Like you could, if you know an artist or something, ask them to do your channel identity, and then every week, just in even in Paint.net or MS Paint or whatever, you can just use the text to write a new name over the blank of that and merge the layers together, paste it off, upload it to YouTube as a thumbnail, and that often gives things a nice professional look, and it doesn't cost a thing. Yeah, that's worth doing.
Yeah. Wait, let me see something.
Because I mean, you'll
Oh, the
look at.
Samurai joined the hangout.
Hmm?
Oh, I see Samurai Alliance.
Yeah, I should have a quick look at Twitter and see if there's anything happening. Bet, bet.
Oh my goodness. Speaking about Britain, oh my goodness, I remember that idiot, the idiot Pierce Morgan that we
Right,
tried to
Piers Morgan.
deport.
Yeah,
We tried to deport him out of our nation.
yeah. Well, I think that was a bit retarded.
Yeah.
Presumably, that was the left trying to organise that.
Yeah, like, oh my goodness, like it's a video for Stefan Morello now. Like, it points out about the big problems in my home nation or
Hmm.
home commonwealth. Uh, it's basically, and the guy said it correctly. It's Bernie Sanders. It's a Bernie Sanders paradise. They keep
Hmm.
the healthcare, education, like Denmark, Sweden, and all that garbage, and and as a result, people there's a large unemployment. Everyone's like in welfare.
Hmm.
It's barely anybody in work, and actually getting a job is frowned upon. Actually,
I bet it is. Yeah.
when you working, you be in welfare.
Hmm. While you're working, you want to be a rich man. You want to be a, you want to be an
Yeah,
oppressor. Yeah. You don't care about the little guy.
and actually, and interesting enough, if you're Puerto Rican and you want to be rich,
Yeah.
the best option, the richest people in Puerto Rico are basically politicians.
Yep.
Basically, getting money from asking people to get, it's basically getting money for telling people you want to give them free stuff.
Well, yeah. Yeah. It's how socialism works. And then, of course, you never get the free stuff. They And when you complain about the free stuff, they come and shoot you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll put you in gulags.
No, no. Generally, they don't. In the Latin world, they just kill you. They tend not to put people in prison camps unless they want information out of them.
Yeah.
It's the old Pinochet helicopter rides and stuff.
Yeah. Or you just give them free vaccines with cancer cells. But which I just pointed out in my video. Alexander Lugaro should get a free vaccine. And I mentioned Dr. Cornelius Rhodes, which he was a American scientist. He went to freaking Puerto Rico. He did experiment on 8 Puerto Ricans, and they checked cancer cells, and a lot of people, and like 8 people died in the experiment. They
So
put them in trial.
yeah, it's what do they expect's going to happen there? People are going to get cancer and die. Maybe that's what they wanted to see.
Yeah,
Will this actually give them cancer?
yeah.
Hmm.
Like, oh my goodness, Puerto Rico now is like I think Puerto Rico right now is I think they're gonna have like a whole lot of more.
Hmm.
Like this, like right now I'm watching this and it says they only have like food for to sustain the population for like 2 weeks. And right now, only seeing people in the streets like starving, and people are like moving out to the mainland.
It's what's gonna happen. It's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, Puerto Rico is going to be like Ireland, where most people went to the United States, and the population of the island extremely decreased that they never gained their population back. Like Ireland used to have be like
Mm,
10, no, 11 million, and the Irish potato famine, and like many Irish died, or moved to America or England,
mm, mm.
and the population decreased to 4 million, and they still have that population. They never increased their population. They never gained that population back. And I think this is gonna happen with Puerto Rico.
Could.
It's gonna be the Ireland of the 21st century.
Mm. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. At this very day, the population of the Republic of Ireland is only the same as New Zealand. It's only about, it's just under 5 million, just under 5 million, which
Yeah.
is shocking, really, considering it was what was there before. Now we've got a little, I found a little graph here. I wonder how far that can go back. Let's see. Oh, it only goes back to 1960. But yeah, I mean, in 1960, their population was 3 million, under 3 million people in Ireland, which is shocking. Absolutely shocking. It's only in the 21st century that
And
it's only.
right now, as we speak, there's 5 million Puerto Ricans living in the continental United States, and the island, it's only 3 million. So there's basically more Puerto Ricans living in the continental United States than the homeland itself. It's shocking
Mm, yeah, I see what you mean.
and decreasing.
It sounded like you were saying there are more Puerto Ricans living in America than in Ireland. Well, yeah. No, it's all good fun. Oh, so you've been over to politics and sociology much?
Yep.
Oh, it's a mess, isn't it?
Yeah.
They,
There's freaking the SJWs are spreading everywhere. They're freaking everywhere. I think this year's gonna be in the history books. There's already riots. Like I heard, it's like one big protest in on McDonald's, and they want to increase the minimum wage, which is stupid because Denmark doesn't have a minimum wage, and McDonald's paid them $20 an hour.
it's difficult. We'll see what happens under Trump. I think eh, I think you do need a minimum wage, but it doesn't need to be $15. That's just untenable. Um, and of course, minimum wages are silly. Really, you should have a band of minimum wages for a type of work. I think perhaps.
Yeah, like I don't even get it. Like, cause McDonald's, is basically because that job is not supposed to sustain like an average person with a family. McDonald's, the original the original like idea of
Intent.
McDonald's
Yeah.
intent of having McDonald's was to hire teenagers from in high school or in the early stages of college.
Hmm.
Wait, what do you call high school in England?
School. We just call it school. Secondary education, I think we call it.
Secular education,
Secondary.
secondary.
Yeah. So we have primary, secondary, and tertiary, which is university and that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
high school would be secondary education, or comprehensive school, as we tend to call it over here. Um, yeah. So let's have a Kia Oshmijansky of politics and sociology. Actually, I should screen share this if I'm going to nose at people. Let me find the room again.
and like it's supposed to be for like teenagers basically, where like it's just meant for people to learn how to get a jobs, how to be responsible, and also um even let's say you get $80 an hour.
Hmm.
I mean not 80, sorry, $8
Yeah.
eight an hour for that's the minimum wage here in America. That will cost like the minimum wage in McDonald's basically, and that's for a kid like me. That could be good because I don't pay taxes. My parents do.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't like I don't own anything. I could use that money just to buy any goodies I want. While if a grown up, they have to pay taxes. They have to pay for the bills,
Hmm.
and the most of the money has to go to pay with that.
Hmm. And you were saying something about the minimum wage and why it was stupid. Oh, right. Well, yeah, for McDonald's, I mean, it's a job aimed at teenagers and maybe students.
Yeah.
And so you can't expect it to pay incredibly heavily. Um, but I don't think McDonald's is the best example because that's not really where the minimum wage is affecting people. I mean, it's people who are doing jobs um, outside of that level of control. McDonald's are a big company and they will follow the laws that they've got to follow. But smaller companies, they don't have that ability, and smaller and iffier companies, they can't be fucking asked. They'll get a load of wetbacks in and pay them what they bloody well want to pay them.
Yeah.
Um, you know, that's what will happen with a minimum wage. Equally, like companies, small companies will just fold, and the large companies will do really, really well. Yeah, they'll pay them that maximum wage, but they'll find out a way to get it back or to change it or to get incredible amounts of work out of them.
Yeah, I have a question for you. How's the depiction of Americans in England? I heard like in England they have like a strong American phobe. They have American phobia.
And that's only the left, though, isn't it?
Like they think that like they have the stereotype that oh Americans are stupid, they eat hamburgers, are fat.
Well, the whole
They're
that is
like
all
the
being spread by the left around the world. It's the left who do that.
yeah.
There are people who will automatically
Yeah,
parrot
they will
that.
go far. They will go far as saying that America should be a English colony again.
Mm. Someone earlier this week, I said, "So, what about Donald Trump today?" And they were like, "Oh, I hate that fucking guy." And I was like, "Really? Why?" And I was like, "Well, he's an American and he's a racist." And I was like, "Well, he's an American. Of course, he's an American. Everyone running for the presidential race is an American." And I said, "That's not a point." And I said, "Who's told you a racist?" And he's like, "Well, he wants to build that wall." I was like, "Well, it's
Oh
their
my,
borders, you know."
oh my God! Freaking Mexico had like a wall in Guatemala.
Well, this is it.
I and I'm sure we need a. I think England needs to build a wall. Scotland, if Scotland gain independence, you don't want to go. You want to get their leftists here in England.
Mm, it's kind of different. There isn't that kind of bad feeling about America. I mean, our two countries have had a special relationship since forever. I mean, it's
Well, sort of like since World War Two,
yeah.
World War One.
Well, no, before that.
Well, World War One, we actually almost declared war on England. Have you heard of Operation Red? We actually tried to attempt to invade Canada and invade.
You weren't
Uh,
an American then. Yeah, I have heard about that, and there was a plan, but it wasn't a plan to go and fuck with England. It was a plan for if they needed to have a war with England for any particular reason. And people have those kind of plans so they don't get caught out. So I don't really blame America for having this Plan Red thing. Equally, there is this special relationship between our two countries and the Queen and that kind of thing. And it's very ancient, it's codified in law, and there is a certain amount of money passing backwards and forth to the English crown from the Americans to this
uh,
day.
do you
We still actually
which
own
has a
America.
stronger alliance of Britain and America or Britain and Canada?
Oh, Britain and America.
So
Yeah.
if we
I mean,
invade Canada,
no, no.
if the if the
Here's the thing: Canada is ours. Canada is one of our countries. If you invade Canada, yeah, we can't. You can't talk about us having a relationship with Canada. They're part of the Commonwealth. Yeah, that we have that relationship, but
well
we have this special relationship with America, which is far more like uh, parent and child than it is with the countries that we have as part of our Commonwealth, who are effectively slaves. Shocking, isn't it?
well I don't think Canada is still a Commonwealth. I think they gained
It is
independence.
it is independent, but it's still part of the Commonwealth, and the Queen is still the Queen of Canada.
Not really. They gained
No, she
independence in
is.
1983. They gained independence from the Queen in 1983.
No, let's go and have a look because I know what it thinks
They
differently
still
on this.
they still controlled by the Queen, but symbolically, the Queen just like pretends that she has no power whatsoever. And do you think England should be a republic and get rid of the monarchy?
No, I'm a monarchist.
Like why? She's stealing taxes to fund weddings and shit.
No, she isn't. She's got lots of money. She gets a stipend.
And what's the point of having a monarchy? Monarchies are like dinosaur age types of government. She has no power whatsoever.
You're insulting my queen now. Shut up.
They regained independence from the king, that fat King George III, who had a vampire disease.
Hang on, I'm just reading a wiki on the Queen in Canada. Oh. Yep, and the monarch is currently officially titled Queen of Canada.
I know. Australia wants to be a republic.
Now, I think they've done something, but I don't know offhand. It's too late at night for me to drag out the facts of all of this. Actually, I should log off. I'm really, really tired. I'm not making an awful lot of sense tonight.
Okay.
It's been quite a disappointing weekend. I was looking at all these hangouts and live streams today. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Stop screen sharing. Oh, I couldn't listen to most of them. It's just people talking over each other and nobody could stick to a subject. And it's all because they've done too many hangouts this weekend. They're all knackered and spaced out and half drunk and
Yeah.
and I don't blame them. I did a 7 hour, 6 or 7 hour podcast yesterday, and that knocked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
What have you done today?
Oh, I had like I said, I was debating liberals,
Mm,
and I just uploaded the video.
mm. It's it's better to make videos and stuff, I think, than it is wasting time debating with them. Many of the liberals uh, are liberals because they're young and because they're thinking with their hearts and they don't fully understand what a cruel, dark world it is. And so you can't really blame them, and there's no point changing their minds because time will do that. Time and adult responsibility.
Yeah,
Um,
or
hmm,
either that or they get free helicopter rides.
all that, yeah. And so they're not really worth talking to. It's the people in the middle ground we want, and that we can convince of the relevancy of things like controlling immigration and not and getting rid out of the influence of the United Nations and European Union. These large collective superstates are a mess. They can't possibly deal with the complexity underneath them. So they're just going to
Yeah.
create massive social problems.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I thought.
European Union is not democratic. It's basically like a dictatorship. Also heard from
Mm.
Scotty M that
Mm.
the European Union, many of the members of working with the EU were former like government officials of the Soviet Union under Stalin.
There are a few Stasi officials and Stalinist officials in the European Union, yeah, all over government. In fact, even in Facebook, one of their there's an ex-Stasi member in the Facebook security team, and the people who are politically censoring us. Great, isn't it? They've got full proper communists who would love to get like
They're
who
gonna
would love
set
to
up
get the dental wall.
gulag.
Yeah,
They're gonna set up gulags in Norway.
they would love to do that.
Imagine.
We're just talking to the scumbags we meet in politics
Yeah,
and sociology.
they gotta make like a whole lot of more in like Greece, and then they gotta make like a ethnic genocide. Like actually Stalin order a genocide against the Germans, which I can see how the European influence
Mm,
by Stalin with the refugees trying to ruin Germany, remove
mm,
um German culture.
mm. Yeah, it was very because after they sent after Stalin sent in the first wave of properly trained troops, a lot of those troops were saying to the Germans, "You need to get the fuck out of here. Just run, go that way, because the lot that are coming behind us are
Yeah, they even
monsters."
they when they invaded Berlin, like after it under East Germany, the
Mm,
Stalin there were many of the Red Army who would go and rape children. They even
mm,
raped old women.
And
They
they've been
raped
told to. They've been ordered to, and they'd even had leaflets dropped on them telling them
and they
to do.
were not
And and they were
they didn't
specifically picked because they were mongoloids from the far off ends of Russia. They were sent in as a genetic army to screw up the genetic future, but to make loads of mongoloid babies in Germany, so the place was always fucked. Unfortunately, they were so brutal they just killed more or less everyone they met. So there were never any mongoloid babies. They raped a lot of people, then they killed these fucking women.
yeah.
Well, there we go. Anyway, I best go off because I really am really tired now. I didn't think I
Yeah.
was as tired as I am. But
Well,
it's
it's only 10, but no, it's 11 here, but
yeah,
I'm getting tired.
it's 4:25 in the morning here in the UK. You know, luckily it's only Sunday, but I should still get some sleep because I've got to cook later. Um, it's been lovely talking to you, and we should do this again. I'll try and get another hangout going on Sunday when I've had a bit of sleep. And I'll drag you back on that one so that you're not missing out on a bunch of time. And it'll be better when we have some people here, a couple of the
Yes.
admins and that. Cool. So
Yeah.
lovely speaking to you again. I shall see you tomorrow.
All
And,
right.
and goodbye to anyone who's viewed us tonight. It says 2 viewers. I know one of them is me, but nighty night all, and keep the faith.